Hello. There's an old Hank Williams song called Nobody's Lonesome for Me. Here's how part of it goes. Everybody's lonesome for somebody else. Ain't nobody lonesome for me. Everybody's thinking about somebody else, but nobody's thinking about me. When the time comes around for me to lay down and die, I guess I'll have to go and hire me someone to cry. Everybody's lonesome for somebody else, but nobody's lonesome for me. Kind of a up-tempo, light-hearted song where get the idea. The singer feels all alone, not too good humor at that point in time, and feels there's nobody there for him. And while the song was supposed to be sort of a novelty song, and like I said, light-hearted, a lot of truth in that. In fact, that truth goes all the way back to creation. We go back to Genesis and read where when God created Adam, he saw it wasn't good for him to be alone, and then he created Eve. And so, while that's talking about the male-female relationship and the family at its basic unit, we can still apply that same principle to friendships. We all need them. Now, we also know that the Hebrew writer in chapter 4 talked about Jesus was an individual when he came to earth, was well aware of all the temptations and frustrations we all have. The only difference was he never gave in to them and remained sinless. But nevertheless, it should comfort us to know he knows how we feel and what we go through at times. In fact, Jesus needed friends. He had a lot of followers. He had 12 disciples, later become apostles, and an inner circle of 3 very close friends. And he really needed those 3 friends because he was struggling. He knew what was about to become of him. He was going to lose his life for all of us. He went out to pray one evening. Right before that, took his 3 closest friends and said, "Keep watch with me." So he prayed, went back, and they were asleep. Not only once, but 2 more times. He found the same situation. They were asleep. We think, here was a man about to do the greatest thing that would affect all of mankind, that needed the association and the closeness of his friends, and he didn't get it at that time. And we all need friends. We can't go on alone no matter how much we like to think we do. We can. We have family, we have friends, we can have our biological families, we can have our church families, and we have our friends. We can all draw comfort from that and grow closer, knowing that we have those we can count upon. Even though sometimes we let each other down, true friendship will last the test of time. I'd like to read from, to illustrate this, from Ecclesiastes, the words of Solomon in chapter 4, starting with verse 9. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, one will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. Furthermore, if 2 lie down together, they keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. And it'd be an understatement to say this has not been a very tough year for many reasons. And there's no end in sight for a while, and we're all well aware of that. But when we stop and think about it, we have friends, we have family, and they go a long way to helping us weather what's ahead. And there's another component to that I'd like to add. In fact, we might say it's another F. We got family, friends, and we have faith. I noticed that Bob Chambers this week added to his website a lesson on faith. Checked it out, haven't finished it yet, but I think we all need to do that and had some good thoughts there. And faith is when we going to include God in that mix. Because if we just try to rely on our friends and our families and leave God out of this mix, it's never going to work out like it should. I came across, I wish I could say I made it up. I was that smart and that clever, but I'm not. I found this the last week I heard it, and I thought, this is worth repeating. It said, faith isn't a feeling. It's a choice to trust God even when the road ahead seems uncertain. Well, the road ahead may be uncertain. We have our faith, we have our family and our friends. Put all three of those elements together, we'll hang in there and we'll make it.